Hello, welcome to another episode in AWS Solution Architect Associate course. Today's summary is going to be about databases services. Types of databases in AWS. So SQL databases, SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Aurora, MariaDB, Oracle, they're all SQL databases. And then we have non-SQL, which is DynamoDB. And then we have the data warehousing, and it is always used for intelligence services in AWS, which is Redshift. Elastic Cache is a service that's being used when the database is overloaded. Then the top query data has been cached from the database, and it is supposed to speed up the performance of the existing database. Elastic Cache has two engines. First one's Memcache, the second one's Redis. So if you talk about security in DynamoDB, so all user data fully encrypted at rest using KMS, and it also has site-to-site VPN. Direct Connect called DX, and IAM policies and roles is included in security in DynamoDB, and it can fine-grain the access, and it uses CloudWatch and CloudTrail, and it also uses VPC endpoints, so use their private IPs and not using public internet. So AWS databases are stored on SSD, not HDD. So SSDs are known to be faster, and AWS databases are also spread across at least 3 geographical distinct data centers, and it is also available in influential and strongly consistent RAIDs. So if you talk about DMS, which is Database Migration Services, that is used to migrate databases from one source to another. That could be a source, could be a on-prem or inside AWS itself, or in another cloud provider such as Microsoft Azure. And DMS supports homogeneous migrations, also heterogeneous migrations. But for hetero, you need to have AWS Schema Conversion Tool, SCT. Okay, let's talk about Redshift. It is a business intelligence service available in AWS, and it is available in only one availability zone, and default 1-day retention, and it could be maximum up to 35 days. At least maintain 3 copies, original, replica on compute node, and then the backup in S3. The original one and the replica on the compute node, and then the backup in S3. Asynchronously replicate snapshots to S3 in another region for disaster recovery. So databases in AWS always have 2 copies in each availability zone, with minimum of 3 availability zones. So it maintains at least 6 copies of your data, and it can share Aurora snapshots with other AWS accounts. And there are 3 types of replicas. So Aurora replicas, they are used for automated failovers, so you can have about 15. And the MySQL replicas, you can have 5, and in PostgreSQL replicas you can have 1. And it also has automated backups by default, and you can take snapshots and share them with other AWS accounts. You can use Aurora, which is serverless, and we need a simple, cost-efficient option for infrequent and intermittent or unpredictable workload. Caching strategies on AWS. So caching is a balancing act between up-to-date, accurate information and latency. So following services can be used to cache your data: CloudFront, API Gateway, and Elastic Cache. It has two options: to engines, Memcached, and Redis. You can also use DynamoDB Accelerator, which is DAX. So what's EMR? Elastic MapReduce. So what is this used for? It's used for big data processing, and it consists of a master node, a co-node, and optionally a task node. However, by default, log data is stored on the master node, and you can configure replication to store in S3 on 5 minutes intervals for all log data from the master node. This can be only done when creating the cluster. So RDS runs on virtual machines and cannot log into these operating systems, and patching RDS operating systems and databases is done by Amazon, and it's their responsibility. And RDSs are no serverless except Aurora. So there are two types of RDS backups, so automated backups and database snapshots. So if you talk about replicas, so they can be done in multi-AZs, and they are used to increase the performances, and must have backup turned on to create read replicas. And it can be in different regions, and it can be on MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, and Aurora, but not on SQL. Can be promoted to a master, but then it breaks the read replica status for it. So that's a wrap for databases on AWS summary. I hope this is going to be a help for your exams. I am signing out. I am Ashley, and I will see you next episode.